My name is David Myers, and I'm a former wildlife conservation officer for the Pennsylvania Game Commission, and I was stationed in Linesville my entire career here. And I had the fortune to work on bald eagles, our American symbol. And at one time, our eagles here were very endangered, and they were put on the federal endangered species list. We only had 3 nests in Crawford County, and one of them was over in Geneva, and the other 2 were right here in Linesville. And eagles were endangered because of pesticides in our environment. And they went very low in numbers. And what would happen in my observations of eagle nesting, normally in the spring, the eagles would set very low in the nest on her eggs. And oftentimes the eggs would break and she would abandon the nest, and because the eggshells had thinned from the pesticides. Well, we developed a short program of when the eggs would break, I would know because of her actions in the nest. And then we would climb the tree and put in fake eggs into the nest, and she would then, upon come back and incubate the fake eggs. And at that point, I would call there was a program of the federal government, and I would call and request a chick from the federal government, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. And they raised them in the laboratory under controlled conditions. And then we would fly a chick here to Linesville, and we'd reclimb the nest and put the chick in, and she would come back and adopt that chick and raise it as a young eaglet. And then on its own, in about 3 months' time, 2 to 3 months' time, that eaglet would fly and be on its own. And so that was a very important program that we started here in Linesville. And we had success with those nests because of our environment here in Linesville. We have a great refuge, we have a great lake, and we had a cleaner environment. So we did that for several years, and bald eagles are a little bit of a misnomer. It's not a bald head at all, it's feathered head. It just happens to be white. They don't get the white head or the white tail until about 5 years of age. The young immature eagles are all solid brown. And the nest were just so impressive that we had here. They build onto the nest each winter and add sticks to the nest, and they're just huge. Sometimes some nests are up to 1,000 pounds, and it can even approach a ton. So it's a huge nest. And it takes that type of clean environment for them to live in and feed. They're mainly fish eaters, and that's why lakes and rivers are so important to them, and wetlands too. And we were very fortunate to have that here in Linesville. So after the mid-'80s, when we were doing this for a while here in Linesville, and then raising those chicks into freedom here around our area, we initiated another program with Canada. And we had brought back a total of 88 young eaglets from Canada, Saskatchewan. We'd only bring back 1 or 2 from each nest, and bring back maybe several each spring. And we raised those eaglets in a controlled environment down by Harrisburg. And they would fledge out of a hacking tower and fly on and be on their own. And from that point, it was very successful. And we have now eagles throughout the entire state. When I retired in 2005, and I stayed in Linesville, and there was quite a few nests. At this point in time, and we're at 2019, we have well over 300 nests in the state of Pennsylvania. The bald eagle's been taken off the endangered species list. It's been taken off the threatened list. There's a threshold of so many nests eagles per endangered species, threatened species. They've been taken off of that now. We're still giving them protection. The federal government protects eagles by the Bald Eagle Protection Act. We also have the Game and Wildlife Code that we protect eagles. But the main thing that we are so proud of, that our environment is cleaner. We're not using DDT and pesticides anymore. And we protect them. Some eagles have been shot. But more than anything, they just have common accidents that they pass and die from. They can live up to 35 years in the wild. And they'll take care of themselves as long as their environment's clean and the food and the habitat's there for them. So That was the goal of the Game Commission back then, and I was so proud to be part of that here in Linesville.